How's it going, everybody? It's Riley's Red Zone here, and in today's video, I will be predicting every Week 7 NFL game. So, this week started very well. If you don't already follow my Twitter at Riley Red Zone, go ahead and do that because every week, any games that happen before Saturday, to make sure I get the pick out on time, I post the pick on my Twitter. So in this case, it was the Cardinals versus the Saints, and I did pick the Cardinals, so it's good that we start the week off with a win. But in the rest of this video, I'm going to be predicting the rest of the games that are going to occur this week. So let's break it down a little bit here. Let's start with the Lions and the Cowboys. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. I think the Lions are still showing some fight, but I think that the Cowboys will bounce back a little bit and get a win over the Lions there. Now, surprisingly, the Jaguars are actually favored in a game over the Giants. I find that a little bit questionable, but I'm gonna go with the Giants here. I think that they're doing very, very well. Yeah, I think a lot of people won't, think they're a top team at their record even, but I think that they can beat the Jaguars for sure. They'll be bound to probably slip up at some point, but for now, I'm gonna go with the safe pick, which is somehow not safe with an upset. But I'm gonna go with the Giants there. Technically, an underdog pick for that one. That could be an interesting game. I'm gonna go with the Packers over Washington. Washington now going with it's gonna be Heineke here as the backup as Carson Wentz is out for a while. And I think the Packers are going to bounce back after two tough losses, to the New York teams. I think they'll bounce back and get a win against the Commanders here. Colts Titans, I think might be one of the hardest games to pick this week. Both have been kind of on and off, winning games I didn't think they were going to, and then losing games that I expected them to win. I'm going to go with the Colts. I think this one's a toss-up, though, but I think that the Colts eventually will just get a little bit of a bounce back going here. And they'll keep it going. But Matt Ryan has not been playing phenomenal. So this is really a close game. I'm going with the Colts in an upset, but this one close to a 50-50 there. Falcons, Bengals. The Falcons have been doing surprisingly well, but I think the Bengals have the offensive firepower to go ahead and score a lot of points this week against that Falcons defense. So I'm going to go with the Bengals here. I think that credit to the Falcons for what they're doing, but I'm going to go with the Bengals. Now, I will say this for this next game. If the Bucks did not lose last week to the Steelers and didn't have as much motivation as they do going into this week, I legit think the Panthers would have actually been a decent upset pick. And that's with the trading of McCaffrey, which we'll extend in later in this video. But I honestly would have thought about it. It's like a 10-point line right now, but I just think that Brady is not going to let that happen. He's not going to let them lose to the Panthers, even though I seriously think that is not, at a time, wouldn't have been the worst upset pick in the world. But for now, I got to go safe here and go with the Bucks. Browns, Ravens up top there. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I think that they are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. They ruled out Dobbins. Bateman, questionable to play. I believe Ronnie Stanley also questionable. So a lot of missing parts potentially, but I think it's a safer choice here. But I definitely could see the Browns getting an upset. They just haven't shown as much to me, but I do think at some point this could happen here. I'm not going to rule that out. Jets, Broncos, also I think it's going to be really close. I've picked the Jets a few times I did, and that worked out. I didn't pick them over the Packers last week, but credit to the Jets for doing that. But I think that Brett Rippon will actually offer something for this Jets, against the Jets team here, even though Russell is hurt right now. I think that the Broncos will win this game, and I think it will, if this happens, put a bit of a question on that quarterback situation, even though I think you still got to go with Russ. He's the guy. I think that they are going to maybe get a win here, which I think will spark some controversy, but I think Brett Rippon shows up, gets him a win. Raiders over the Texans. I love me some Dameon Pierce. I think he's going to be the offensive rookie of the year, but I don't think he does enough by himself to get them a win over this Raiders team. I think the Raiders have more offensively. I think the Texans are a team that will, continue the rebuild overall. Chiefs, Niners. McCaffrey is already looking to play, and that is very interesting to me. It's a quick turnaround. He just got traded a few days ago. I think that he actually will offer a spark. I don't know how much they're going to get him in right away, but I think that he's going to be involved very early in this offense. So I'm going to go with the Niners here in an upset. I think he'll provide a bit of a spark. If I think the Chiefs losing last week potentially, is a concern. But I think that they'll kind of be riding on a little momentum too of wanting to win this. So I think that both have very good cases on why they should win. But I'm going to go with the Niners here in a debut from McCaffrey, just because he's playing. I think that's a spark that Chiefs weren't preparing for earlier this week. Seahawks Chargers. I like what Geno's doing a lot. I think they're going to get some upsets, but I'm going to go with the safe pick here in the Chargers. I think Herbert has a lot going offensively, and the Seahawks are doing well with what they have, but I'm going to go with the Chargers here. Then the Dolphins. I'm going to take them over the Steelers. Still a little unsure of what the QB situation is going to be, but I think the Dolphins get a win. I think that the Steelers kind of lucked one out last week, but they got the win. I'll give them credit against the Bucs, so I don't think that happens 2 weeks in a row. And then they close out Patriots Bears, another potential QB controversy, with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, because Zappi's been performing well. We'll see what happens there, but I just can't go with the Bears here. I just don't have a reason to. So I'm gonna go with the Patriots in that one. So those are my Week 7 picks. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully they turn out well. But I will see you in the next one.